All right, welcome back to World War Zero Season 2, baby. Thank you guys for your patience with me. I slowed down production on this series. I have so much to take care of right now that I just want to get out the way first before I really focus on this. But I didn't want to keep you waiting because I've been waiting to do this episode. This episode is so important. Like, I'm so passionate about this concept, even though I have resting B face. I don't be looking passionate. I have the fire sign energy, but I really love this concept that I want to make another episode going way deeper into this. And after you see this, comment down below if you'd like to see a deeper episode on this, because I'm just going to really, this is a conclusion of the concept, and I don't think I'm going to do it justice just talking about it. You'll see what I mean. So basically, Zodiac hierarchy, baby. This is the conclusion of that concept of perspectives. All right. It's not an original idea I came up with, but I'm kind of reimagining the way you kind of see it, and that's where it's just very exciting for me, because this helps you kind of see real time how astrological placements put people in different kind of like perspectives, hierarchies, and branches. And I hope so far through this series you've seen that. All right. So in conclusion, we've talked about individuals, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. We've talked about the socials, aka the supers, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. They be outside. And then we have the universals, the collectives. They're everything. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Okay. If you haven't seen episode 1, the introduction, where I bring in the concepts. Episode 2 is where we go into individuality. Episode 3 is where we go into the socials. Episode 4, we talk about the collectives. So now this episode, I want to bring home the point, but now I want to branch out on how you can combine all of this understanding relative to your own natal chart. And I will use myself as an example. All right. So as we've discussed, individuals, are their own person. It's going to really represent the one-on-one connection and communication. I have a Gemini sun as a Taurus rising. These are both individual placements, individual personality with the rising, individual consciousness and spirit. I specialize in one-on-one. It's literally how I make my living. We do consultations one-on-one. All right. A social, like a Virgo or a Libra, this is like workshop energy. Not that I can't do workshops, but socials are going to engage one to a whole crowd, right? And then collectives, universals like Aquarius is like base nectar, right? Just performing in front of a whole village, right? A whole crowd of people, which in and of itself is still a social event. So it does kind of bridge to that. Collectivity is really going to be like the whole humanitarian collective, or like a government structure that represents a whole bunch of other people. So please watch the previous episodes where I go deeper into that. However, based on your natal chart, you can see the quality of each perspective you represent. And I'm going to go into that really quick. This is where I want to do an extra episode where I can go into these more in depth. And once again, let me know if you're interested in that. All right. Now, the way I like to do this is my interpretation. After I tell you this, you might have your way of doing it. You might see a way that's more accurate for you, and I want you to run with that. The way I do this personally is the sun sign is going to be what you are. The moon, representing who you are at your core, is going to be more like the adjective that describes the nature of your sun or the quality of the perspective your sun represents. And then the rising will also be the embodiment and personality. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, for example, as a Capricorn moon and a Gemini sun and a Taurus rising, I have an individual spirit and a collective soul. Capricorn's universal, right? So that would make me a universal individual. Let's take someone like Cardi B, who has the Aries moon and the Libra sun. She would be the original individual super or individual social, right? She, at her core, is her own authentic person, but she expresses that as an artist socially towards other people. See how fun this is? And this is where there are so many different combinations. I am what we would call a collective or a universal individual, like President Trump with the Sag Moon Gemini, like Kanye West or Ye with the Pisces Moon Gemini, or Kendrick Lamar, or like, I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, I don't want to get demonetized, but that's a collective individual. You probably know what I'm talking about. But other than that, basically, and I'll break down the different types, but basically I would be a universal individual with an individual personality. That's the way we say it. So let me break down the different types. We have pure individuals, your sun, moon, rising, all in the first 4 signs, or at least your sun and moon. Like, let's say you have a Capricorn rising, but your sun and moon isn't from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. You're an individual with a universal personality. So we have the pure individuals, all in the first 4. Then we have social individuals. A social individual, based on my formula and perspective, is someone who has their moon from Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, and Libra, and their sun in Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. Okay, that's going to be like a Scorpio moon with an Aries sun, Lady Gaga, right? A Virgo moon with a Taurus sun, right? The master producer, okay? Social individuals are individuals who feel the need to socialize. Okay, so they're going to be, the social does not make you extroverted, but you're going to integrate more of your individuality by feeling that performative need to express yourself. And social individuals are highly talented. Then you have universal individuals, just like myself, who are pretty much all-in-one beings, all-in-one individuals who can feel the collective, feel the universe, but still express it, talking one-on-one like it's just you and me, if that sounds familiar. Okay, so with that being said, your moon is in Sag, Cap, Aqua, Pisces, your sun in Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Now, this is where I want you to play with interpretation, because I can also say I'm universal, because my moon is in Capricorn. This is where you can identify with your sun, moon, and rising and say you're these things. And that's why I don't want to limit you. You might reverse it. You might say, no, the sun describes my moon. So you might reverse it if your moon is in Capricorn and your sun's in Cancer, that makes you an individual collective. I want to do the moon describing the sun, and that's where, however you want to do it, you might have the rising be the anchor. For me, the sun's the anchor, and then the rising will describe it. So like I said, universal individual with an individual personality. Azalea Banks is a great example. She's also a universal individual. She's a Cap, Moon, Gemini, Sun with me, but unlike me, she's way more lit. Like she's a Leo rising. She's a social personality. She actually performs at concerts, right? Leo, the performer, right? The stage player. So I have an individual personality. She has a social personality, right? Which I consider y'all superheroes, superpowered, whatnot. So we talked about the individuals. Next, we have the socials. We have pure socials. Let's just get out of the way. We'll do the pure stuff first. Pure socials, sun, moon, rising, all in Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, and Libra. Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. Okay, if you have especially moon and sun here, social, and I like to use Scorpio for pure. So, moon and Scorpio, you're pure, whatever. But that being said, you focus mainly on integrating your being socially with others. You go outside. You probably brag about it too. Classic example. Libra moon, Leo sun, Joyner Lucas started a song saying, "Me and my boys outside, blah, 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 blah," because I mean, that's what y'all do. And please watch the social episode to go more into what that entails. But we have other types of socials, individual socials, okay? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer moon with your sun in Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, okay? The Leo King, perfect example of an individual social with a social personality. This is why this is so fun. Like, think of everyone you know and plug and play. I'll say this again. So basically, at his core, like Cardi B, individual socials, they are their own person. They have a solid individuality, but they express it more socially. Their awareness isn't just about themselves, whereas individual spirits could be a lot more self-focused and self-centered. Social spirits are going to be more other-focused and socially focused. But the individual socials still have that grounding and at least core individuality that other types don't have and can blend more with others and not be as much as themselves. But that's still debatable as well. And that brings us to universal socials. Moon in Sag, Cap, Aqua, Pisces. Sun in Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. So there's going to be like a Pisces moon, Libra sun, like Kim Kardashian, or a Capricorn moon, Virgo sun, like the late, great Amy Winehouse. All right. These are social spirits and beings that, like the universal individuals, feel everything. Okay. And command a lot more presence. Because not only do they feel and tap into the whole universe or the whole collective, but they're able to reach out and connect with so much more people than just an individual would. Individuals still have wide reach as well. But, you know, it's a very unique combination. And it combines godhood with superheroic power or villainry. All right, with that being said. And then, last but not least, we have the collective. So for the pure universals, your sun, moon, and rising are all in the last four zodiac signs: Sag, Cap, Aqua, and Pisces. Okay, y'all are out of this world. Y'all have a much more. The more universal you get, the more broader you get. The less specific, but the more the net is cast wide towards everything. And this is where we get elite. So when I see charts like this, I'm like, whoa, you're an entity, never mind your identity. You know who said that? Absol. And he's purely universal. He's either moon in Sag or Cap, sun in Pisces. So this is no joke. And people like that tap into so much, I hate to say it, higher vibrations. They're able to look at things expanded beyond just the physical, beyond just the present. What's another good example of this? Someone who has like a Pisces moon, Capricorn sun will also be a great example. Kale'Sito, Aqua sun, moon, and Capricorn rising. He's an alien. He's not from here. But like, you get what I mean? Like these are more generational, universal entities. Now we also have individual gods or individual universals. Moon in Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Sun in Sag, Cap, Aqua, and Pisces. Aries, moon, Capricorn, sun, for example. Gemini, moon, Pisces, sun. Cancer, moon, Aquarius, sun. And their personality rising could be in either of the perspectives, but based on that system that I'm using, that's how you would see an individual collective. Individual collectives feel who they are within, but they appeal towards everything. And that's what makes, unlike my archetype that is like the God level individual, they are the individual gods. Slight distinction. Then you have the social gods, the social collectives. Moon in Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, sun in Sag, Cap, Aqua, Pisces. So this is like moon in Libra, sun in Sagittarius. Moon in Scorpio, sun in Pisces, SZA. No. She's actually universal social. Moon in Pisces, sun in Scorpio. Moon in Scorpio, sun in Pisces. Kobe! Actually, Kobe, if you watching this, you a social god. You a social collective. Moon in Virgo, sun in Sagittarius. Moon in Virgo, sun in Aquarius, like young Pharaoh. Right? No. He's Moon in Aquarius, Sun Virgo. I apologize, but yes. So the social gods, the social universals, feel their environment around them. They feel that need to connect socially, but like the individuals, universals are not really as extrovert. They're either like super extroverted or they're even more introverted, right? But they are going to appeal to the entire collective. They're going to be aware. Being a universal means your consciousness exists at a universal level while you're feeling the social environment you're around. And archetypes like this appeal to a lot more people, just like the universal socials. Whereas anything connected to individuality is going to want to keep to themselves or connect better one-on-one, but it's not limited to that. All right, so that's going to conclude this Zodiac hierarchy. I want to move on to other parts of World War Zero Season 2. I want to bring back the yin-yang mastery. I have a whole different way to interpret yin-yang that's going to mix very well with the first way in Season 1. So let me know if you want me to expand on this, and I'll find creative ways to do so, because I kind of rushed through it. I want to take my time really cataloging and showing you how awesome this is. What I want you to do is to look at everyone in your life and see where they fall in. Comment down on this video what type of perspective you are. What is your archetype? Like I told you, I'm a universal individual with an individual personality. What are you? What type of personality are you? Comment that down below. And yeah, I will tune in with you guys when I do. And I'm very grateful for you tuning in. All right, and until next time, peace. Word. Oh, nice.